Okay, so hello guys, and welcome back to Danganronpa Lapse. Now, I think we loaded game around we were still in prologue, if I remember correctly. Jesus Christ. In my personal room, I set up the front bed and took in the surroundings, so the events of yesterday weren't part of some kind of strange dream. My personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. Jesus Christ. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be, since this mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. So apparently, we're not an ultimate, but somehow we still ended up in this school. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. I don't want to see everyone, I grumbled and drew the covers over my head, uselessly trying to will away the shame of yesterday. Who's that? Oh, it's Ashley. Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you. Oh, just give me a minute. I'll be right out. After getting properly dressed, I met Ashley outside my door in the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. We walked casually down the hall to the foyer. You sleep alright last night? Yeah, I slept alright considering. I've been not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little bit better after getting rest, and besides, everyone has been really nice. That's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. Am I? I'm not so sure about that. In the foyer, we were met with two other students loitering outside the dining hall. Let's turn the music a bit down. Sorry, I'm not a morning person. Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, say, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate our bestie bloody, yeah? She's still tired. You seem better, Echo. Nothing but good night's rest can't take care of. True that. Yeah, morning. It's weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but I'm waking up instead. Huh? What do you mean? One of my watches is set to my hometown time and it says 7:43 p.m. Sunday, 6th of December. 7:43? That's a 12-hour difference from now. Oh, the day checks out. I was just thinking about the winter solstice? Will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward from today's date, today would be Saturday. I guess since we're all from different places, the time for certain people would be a little bit different. Even so, all of our alarms were set to the same current time, so it would eventually end up on a uniform schedule, right? Yeah, like recovering from jet lag. A bit unfortunate for those with larger time differences, though. Winter is too cold, but the New Year is fun. Say is like really shy, I would think. In the dining hall, the familiar warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the room, my senses swathed in comfort. Pandora placed a basket filled to the brim with freshly baked can't speak today. Delicacies at the center of the dining table. Good morning, you two. You've been working hard, huh? Of course, I had to get an early start if I want to indulge you all with some treats big in the morning. I felt the sweet and savory fragrances seep into my body, the warmth of a sun-kissed, dewdrop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. I got a new mic. What do you guys think? Such a lovely setting. Jesus. You would almost be ashamed to eat it. Oh, the wrong voice. You would almost be ashamed to eat it. Why though? Almost. We wouldn't be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it. You're too kind. Help yourself. Pandora's so sweet. That's alright, we'll wait for the others. I sat at the dining table with Ashley and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in and we began to help ourselves to Pandora's treats, as well as beverages provided by the automated menu. After we all settled in, Missy stood at the head of the dining table to begin the discussion. Good morning all. I trust you all have a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist primarily of the problematic nature of the foyer's front doors. We will also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have a similar mechanism, keeping us from going outside. You may split into groups or investigate as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you're in to relay a message. Relay a message? The digital kiosk can do that? Yes, I discovered it with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night. As it turns out, the digital screens are not just for displaying maps or the specified function it provides in its resident home. It functions as a remote messaging system between all the digital kiosks in the mansion. In the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor to the second floor, and we can assume further floors as we gain access to them. It's a rather rudimentary process though. One would scan the bracelet on all screens across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using the on-screen keyboard. You cannot censor specific recipients, however. Once you complete and send the message, it will show up on the screen for about 2 minutes before deleting itself. For the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. This mansion truly is all-encompassing in its endeavors to accommodate all. And that is precisely why we must investigate the reason and maintain itself to cause its residents harm. The group anonymously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished breakfast. Everyone decided to split up and research one room themselves. That is the most stupid decision I've ever heard. While I was still deciding where to go, Lyle approached me. Hey Echo, would you mind coming with me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment? Huh? Why me? Because you were the one who'd experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. I guess we could, but in all honesty, there's not a lot of retrace. I don't think... Nonsense, there's no harm in a second look with a fresh pair of eyes, yeah? You might see something different this time around. He's weird. I don't like him. I don't like Lyle. In the foyer, Missy was already doing her own investigating, intensely staring at the walls. So what exactly are you doing yesterday? I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had been worrying about not having a talent, which led to my reaching for the door handle in the first place. I thought I'd be outcast if others knew I wanted to run away. After the welcome announcement, I was feeling a bit tired from running around earlier that day, so I went back downstairs to my personal room. And? Like I said at dinner last night, in passing I was curious about the door and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd a reason to want to reach for the door? Well, no need to get defensive. I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious? Cannon immediately came to mind. Ford said... Is it Forte? Forte said she just left me collapsed for him to take care of. Why did she flee after I collapsed? I can't really think of anything at the moment. I don't want to assume that Cannon is immediately suspicious. But then again, she is really suspicious. I guess I have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Thanks, Echo. I'll investigate my own from here. I don't know what I helped all that much, but you're welcome. Lyle went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the paneling for any hidden mechanism. In the meanwhile, I was curious. I wondered if Forte could help me figure out what went on with Cannon's disappearing act. Sure, Cannon couldn't do anything bad, right? Forte was unsurprisingly in the theater inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo, doing well, I hope. A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine nonetheless. Excellent, I wish for you to keep your spirits high despite the scare. Should you need any assistance, I shall offer my services. Yeah, about that. I want to ask you about yesterday. I thought you might want to know more. However, the truth is as so. What I told you yesterday is all the information I have. I see. I admit I didn't expect much more than what he told me. The story seems straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me if you noticed anything odd? Forte paused. I suppose there was the trifling fact that Cannon fled up to the second floor right away. It's strange had I been so startled by such an event. I might have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Upstairs, huh? Other than Cannon fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. I'm sorry, Echo. I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped for this sort of thing. The mental hoops and note-taking required of an investigation are much too overwhelming. Why don't we have like an ultimate detective or something? That's okay, I appreciate the thought, and actually that little tidbit helps. It does? Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. I didn't figure anything out. Only something about the second floor? I made my way through the foyer past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up to the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw the digital kiosk light up, displaying a message on screen. Campo Piano. Hi, climbing center. Well, it's certainly working. I paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? I tore down the hall past the jazz club, climbing center and spa. However, my search came up short. Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome in the center. Cannon. But before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played and an announcement followed. It's now 9 a.m. on the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. What now? The few students that were already on the second floor made their way over quickly. Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes, hello right back at you. Cool, it works. Well, at least we discovered something from Art's larking about. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Say, and Pandora. Now what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up? That might provide helpful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here? While all the students gathered in the atrium once again, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different. And the voice that announced the following was different. Welcome, welcome! Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. This voice was more high energy, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer. Okay, I gotta be the radio host. This is an actual special announcement for the students with us today. You've been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. A game? That's right, a game, and not just any game. This is the Beyond Universal glamorously popular game that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Why yes, it's the Mutual Killing Game. Mutual Killing Game? Ah, the Mutual Killing Game. A game of hope and despair. A game of allies and betrayal. A game of cause and consequence. It's all so thrilling. Yes, indeed, you're all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourselves to the exclusive game of life and death itself. Upon hearing that detail, I saw the other students' faces go pale with shock. We're gonna murder people. Fun! We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. That idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? My crow was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop. This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls you explored just a day ago. If you'd like to leave earlier, then follow this one very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. Try to leave by any other means will result in consequence, as some of you may have Have learned firsthand from a little jolt of discovery. So if we leave without killing someone, we get shocked. Fun. Very fun. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway. Inside you have all sorts of lovely accommodating and amenities. Live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. I mean, I wouldn't kill anyone personally, but I can't say the same about other people. Especially Say, because we can all see she's very, anxious. So if she wants to leave, she'll probably try to kill anyone, honestly. If you kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize is an amazing prize befitting an ultimate who awaits the victor. I know, it's a lot of information to take in at once. We will allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge. Go climbing! But tomorrow the real fun will begin. Mwahaha. The announcement ended on one final disgusting turn before cutting out. The class was in absolute shock. No way. It can't be. Wait. What is this? A sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves. There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there? Pandora voiced the question at the back of everyone's mind. How could one? It's merely an awful jest. There's no way any one of us could commit such an act against friends. Who said we were friends? Oh my god! I knew! Lyle... Screw you. Who knows? Maybe one of you is the puppet master running the stick. This is turning out to be more interesting than that defusing and intriguing door puzzle. This is fun. Lyle, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game? What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Yeah, and you don't know who the whole mastermind is. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet. Don't worry. I don't trust you. You gotta figure out by killing someone. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. To think just this morning we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game, specifically targeting ultimate students. I mean, if it's targeting ultimate students, apparently I'm not at risk because I'm not an ultimate. It was selfish to think of this during a moment when all our lives were potentially in danger, but I really didn't belong here. Because we're not an ultimate, we don't belong here. Prologue, what's in the middle? Oh. Oh, gee, Christ, my God. Oh, what is this? Oh, wow. Okay, Pine. 0, 0. Missy Vespa. Art Companion. Say. Cyrus. Bro. This is amazing. Bro. That was so cool. That was awesome. You may now view the student roster from the main menu. Undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in an almost giddy manner, a smirk painted on his face in stark contrast to our own astonished expression. So, we're stuck in this weird luxury mansion for 7 days, huh? What's 7 days anyway? It shouldn't be too hard not to kill anyone during that time, right? We've made it this far. I chuckled nervously, but the fact was such an inexplicable requirement like that existed in the first place was difficult to come to terms with. One very simple rule: kill a fellow student without getting caught. What kind of awful rule is that? Please don't joke about the matter. Don't lose your head so hastily. I noticed the announcement rules didn't outright state that we necessarily needed to kill anyone to begin with. Perhaps Lyle is onto something regarding the ARG angle. Besides, the risk isn't nearly pressing enough to encourage such drastic action. Despite the loophole Missy mentioned, the pressure of a killing game being present loomed over us, crushing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. There's no use for us to be glaring at each other in silence. We ought to continue the mansion investigation. Missy shook off the terrible feeling and went on her way to research once more. Investigate? How could she ask such a thing after something so scary just happened? Being able to stay composed at a time like this, Missy isn't easily shaken. Which is nothing to say about Lyle, who was excited. With nothing left to do, we departed from the atrium. But the voice continued to haunt me as I left the room behind. Wahaha. The awful cackle rang in my ears, filling me with dread. Upon leaving the atrium, the others dissolved into their own disoriented thoughts. With the foyer door bearing any chance of exit, all we could do was wait. Wait. All we could do was wait for tomorrow, wherein tomorrow the real fun will begin. This so-called game with an odd emphasis on ultimate students. What horrible thing could possibly be in store for us? I felt like I was being suffocated by the decorated walls and furniture, the decorated students and their achievements. What had I gotten myself into? I flew close to Ashley as we drifted away from the atrium, dragging my feet through the hallways. Echo, are you okay? I don't know. Some announcement, huh? Yeah, I'm still reeling from being surrounded by students with super talents. Right. But honestly, I'm just really worried about you. Me? Yeah, the whole killing game seems to center around the ultimate title stuff, so I've been dragged into it. She is an ultimate, so she can't help it. Echo, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a lot tougher than you think. I've fallen off my horse more times than I can count, but I just get up and get back in the saddle. I can't help it. It might be a fluke or some kind of cruel joke, but what if it's not? Sorry, I know there's no use in making it myself sick with worry. Don't fret about that. It makes sense. This strange situation would make anyone nervous, but look, I'm not going anywhere. If anything happens to me, I'm not going down without a fight. And you're my best friend. I don't think being friends with a little worry is any trouble at all. Ashley tried to reassure me multiple times that she wasn't going to get wrapped up in this absurd killing game, but despite her stubbornness, my heart sank further and further into darkness. Knowing such a game was thrusted upon us in the first place was too awful to bear. I didn't want Ashley to reassure me that she wasn't going to die. I wanted to hear that the killing game wasn't real at all. Ash, would you mind if I had some time alone? I'm still feeling overwhelmed. Oh, of course, I understand. In that case, I'll take some time to explore the mansion a little more. I'll always be around if you need anything. Take care, Echo. Ashley departed for the study and I went back to my personal room. I honestly think we shouldn't be leaving her alone, or her leaving us alone, because one of us is gonna die, and if I think it's gonna be the latter, she's gonna die. It was all too much. I threw myself on the bed and let my body slowly sink into the comforter as I sank into my thoughts. I went over the events of the supposed vacation in my head. I woke in an unknown room with nothing in my possession and in a panic threw the door open to find my best friend, Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate. Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate equestrian? Jockey? Farrier? I think, isn't it equestrian? Ashley was switched to the ultimate equestrian? Wait, that doesn't sound right. Ultimate jockey? No, farrier? Asterisk with ultimate farrier? Hang on, that doesn't sound right. Jockey. That's right. I don't remember. She's the ultimate jockey. Supposedly won 84% of her races, whatever that meant. Regardless, she neglected to tell me of such a thing during our friendship. Ashley and I teamed up to explore what we discovered to be a mansion. After meeting a handful of students, we discovered 9 out of the 10 of them had something called an ultimate talent. There's someone who doesn't have one. Who doesn't have an ultimate talent, that's all. That's right. Within our group, I discovered I was the only one without some sort of ultimate talent. Or, we don't know. So for now, we don't have one. We don't remember ever having one. But maybe we do, we just don't know. I wanted to speculate that perhaps I had no memory of such a thing, but in all honesty, I wasn't even able to list any interesting memories pertaining to an ultimate talent. I was in a state of disarray. After being overwhelmed by the immense talent everyone encompassed, I felt an urge to escape. I ran to the foyer's main doors and was electrocuted. That's right. Upon grabbing the door handle, a shock was sent through me, causing me to pass out. I lost consciousness and woke up in some time later in Forte's room. After the shock, the rest of the students became concerned. Our group split up the next morning and searched the mansion for any signs of a trap. In the middle of the search, we were summoned to the second floor atrium. There we heard some horrific news. The horrible news was we're part of a killing game. That's right. A strange announcement informed us that we were trapped here for 7 days, and the means of escape was to kill someone. Not to mention that the real fun would begin tomorrow. It was all so strange, almost unreal. No, I just wished it were unreal. I just wanted to go back home. I just wanted to go back to the comfort of complacency and knowing my place. It's not real, it's not real, it's not real. Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep, lost in my thoughts. Chapter 1. Jinpixia? What? Day 2. I opened my eyes. Chapter 1, Day 2. The clock on my bedside table read 12 o'clock. Oh, I must have dozed off a little. Why can't this weird association just be a dream already? I stared blankly around at my personal room. Wait, Day 2. Isn't that when the real fun begins, apparently? I guess I could take a walk to get my mind off things. Oh my god, we're gonna find a corpse. We're gonna find a corpse. I'm scared. I made my way to the foyer and sighed again. The grandiose foyer was empty, making me feel small against this elaborate decor. I dawdled around for a spell, thinking of what to do, when I heard a small conversation in the dining hall. Have a look at this. It was Pandora and Saya, past the doorway. It seemed they were in the middle of something. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely. The engraving is just immaculate. My sister gave it to me ages ago. I was wondering if you'd like it. Huh? Why me? Were you wanting something in return? Nothing of the sort. I was thinking as a watchmaker, you must have a rich eye for detail. I believe you could give this piece the cat needs. I don't know. It's a gift from your sister. Wouldn't you want to keep it? I'm afraid I can't quite put it to good enough use. I cherish it, but if someone else can appreciate it more than I, who am I to keep it away from her? Oh, I'll try to take care of it. Thank you. What are they talking about? Even after a pressing situation made itself known, it seemed like Pandora still wanted to get along with everyone, even the most timid person some way or another. I left them alone. Nothing for me to worry. I stepped back into the center of the foyer. I wonder how everyone else is doing. Free time. Oh! Oh! We can go somewhere. Let's go to the study. I wonder how Ash is doing. Hey Echo, I was reading about this painter named Marcel Osterzone. Apparently people think very highly of their work. Would you like to see? I learned about a Renaissance painter thanks to Ashley. So, how are you feeling? I'm feeling a bit better. I took a walk to clear my head a little. Glad to hear it. The last thing I would want is for you to get all worked up. Ash, I'm curious, how did you hear about the preservation project? I heard about it by word of mouth. I have some Ultimate Talent colleagues that were talking about the preservation project, so I signed up for it along with my friend, the Ultimate Race Car Driver. Wow, Jock and a race car driver? That's a pretty high-stake tag team. Well, you know how it goes. Birds of a feather flock together. But I can't help but wonder whether or not we made it in. I'm sure he did. He's probably just in a different group. Maybe. Wait, are we the Ultimate Race Car Driver? It's just last I spoke with him, we got in a huge fight. But then again, if we were, she would know. Ashley didn't seem to want to talk to him anymore. Sorry if I brought up something painful. No, it's okay. Fights happen when people are close. It's just a fact of life, I suppose. We've had our fair share of spats, but I've usually worked through them. Remember when I dropped your mug? I still have that mug. You worked pretty hard to mend it together in that kintsugi fashion. Well, that's a little too awkward to drink out of. I knew it was your favorite, so I did my best. Thanks, Echo. I appreciate what you're trying to say. Don't worry about my silly fight. I'll get over it. I said goodbye and let her have some time alone. Let's go to the theater. Forte is probably in the theater. Welcome to the stage, Echo. I was just admiring the selection of props backstage. Would you like to try some? I awkwardly tried on some handsome masks with Forte. This killing game. It can't be our reality, can it? Excuse me, just thinking out loud. That's okay, I was wondering the same thing. I mean the preservation project. What am I saying? They can't be related. Surely the group has been infiltrated is pulling a whole prank. Though I can't say I enjoy the perpetrator's flavor of humor. What is the preservation project anyway? It's a group that provides safe housing for ultimate students, protecting them from extreme natural disasters. It had a reputation for taking in small groups of students at a time, since the news of it was passed along solely by word of mouth. Once enough students signed up, a number of them were let in. In our case, it seems the message got to the 10 of us. Word of mouth? Yes, a lot of ultimate students often flock together in small communities within the area, since they're often outcast by the average people. I personally heard it when they acquired an ultimate radio host to help spread the message to my community. I can recall with clarity this voice was boisterous and engaging, not unlike that strange announcer. Despite that, it was a modest arrangement overall. There seemed to be a constrained effort not to spread the word far and wide, which is strange considering the varying range of students and talents around the world. Wouldn't you think the group would extend this offer to more ultimates? I guess it does feel like a little deliberate. Listen to me drawing away, don't mind my pedantic thoughts. Just trying to make sense of this is all. There's no sense. It's a killing game. What else is there to make sense of? Forte quieted down as he continued to inspect the costume backstage. Ultimate communities. I thanked Forte for spending time with me and left the theater. Now it's Missy. I'll go talk to Missy. I can't sit still knowing there's a question to be answered. Would you like to join me in an investigation? I helped Missy search every corner of the floor to no avail. That was kind of heavy sigh, are you okay? I'm not immune to the pressure of the situation we have found ourselves in, and I must confess something if you would allow me to think aloud a moment. I intended to join the preservation project as part of the operating group once I heard about it. I thought my skills would prove useful. Really? What are you thinking about now? I'm convinced the group must have been infiltrated. The group is known for bringing in many talents from around the world. For starters, I knew the Preservation Project Safe House was a large building with many wings for each group of ultimate students. So apparently the group is known for protecting us, but the situation right now is we're not being protected. Instead, we're being brought to kill each other in an attempt to escape. The group are divided by the window of time students signed up. In our case, we all signed up within a relatively close time frame, creating a group of 10. The individual groups are often offered a class project to work on together, utilizing all the unique skills in their pool. These projects apparently have varying results, given the fact that each group may or may not have been composed of incompatible talents. Regardless, the end products are usually very unique. Wow, that sounds interesting. Certainly, it would have been an amusing and challenging experience to participate as well, but alas. Other ultimate students, huh? And let Missy continue investigating in peace. Where do we go? Let's go to the kitchen. Free time. Oh! Location unknown. Let's go to the spa. I'll look for Cyrus. I forgot that was the second floor. I was like, wait, what? Now I have a drink of water. Hold on a second. Hello, have you come to relax for a bit in the spa? Feel free to join me. I settled in with Cyrus for a relaxing moment. Cyrus, what do you know about the preservation project? Oh, just about as much as any other student who signed up. It's a group that protects ultimate students from an extreme natural disaster. To preserve humanity's future. It's presumed that this is their goal, as the name implies. Huh? That's as much as I know too. It would be unfortunate to lose people who would benefit the world, right? That makes sense. What do you think of all this? I sighed. The scenario we found ourselves in, it feels like the very opposite of saving ultimate students. It's terrible building excitement in hopes of safety only to crush those feeling in a messed up game. I couldn't wrap my head around the idea. More than reasonable observation. It's cruel, isn't it? But most of all, I was still confused as to why and how I found myself here. In that case, what do you think of the others? Huh? What about them? Well, our associates all found their way here for some reason or another, isn't that right? No one would want to join a killing game voluntarily. That much is obvious, but say that the former were true, that they joined to become part of humanity's future. Pandora seemed keen on the idea that our talent can induce worldly benefit and change. Do you think such a thing could happen? I suppose so, why not? Cyrus chuckled faintly. Why not? How optimistic. Yeah, I guess there might be a lot of hope far from the scenario we're in. No, it's good. It's good for you to maintain the spirit that anything is possible. Cyrus flashed a pleasant smile again before reclining back on the spa chair in silence. After the beat, I saw myself out as Cyrus continued to enjoy his time in the spa. Okay, let's go talk to Art. I wonder if Art is okay. Okay, I want to see how high I can climb. Safety first, though, of course. I watched Art struggle with the ropes and harness before giving up on the idea of climbing altogether. So weird. What's on your mind? This game thing. That announcement said it was a game, but it's not a very fun premise, you know what I'm saying? A huge mansion or whatever just for the 10 of us to play a killing game? It seems like, don't know, expensive? What do you mean? This place is huge. I would have thought maybe more people would be involved by the looks of it. And not that I want a lot of people to play a killing game. You say a lot of people, but are ultimate students really so common? Yes and no. I'm familiar with Ashley's name only because I pay attention to the sport, but I know zilch about photography. I think you just have to be in the right circles. And to put it in perspective, there are billions of people on the planet. It only seemed like a lot of ultimate students in this moment since we all gathered up. That's true. Well, at least you don't have to worry about all this ultimate talent stuff. It's tiring sometimes. Art fell unusually silent for a spell. Anyway, it doesn't look like I can figure out this climbing business. Catch you later. Art gave me a quick nod as he zipped out of the climbing center. Location unknown. Let's go Lyle. I wonder what Lyle's up to. Don't tell me like one of them is dead. I wandered the first floor and second hallways in search of Lyle but failed to find him. I guess he's off solving the killing game puzzle. But let him get to it. Cannon. Let's see if Cannon's in any mood to talk. Don't we know where we don't know where she is. I looked and down the halls but couldn't find Cannon anywhere. I guess she's in her personal room. I made my way over to her listed personal room in the living quarters and knocked lightly. Oh my god, she's dead! Cannon? Oh no. There was no response on the other end. Either she was out being difficult to find or she didn't want to be bothered. Or she's dead. That could work too. Whatever the case, I moved on. No! It's day 2. Shouldn't we know? Oh no. Please don't tell me she's dead. I think that's everyone. I learned a little more about this preservation project and how the others found their way to this place. Despite that, I was still left pondering my purpose here. After spending some time with my fellow classmates, I habitually wandered back to my personal room. But upon entering, I realized I didn't have any personal effects with which to pass the time, so I stepped right back out into the hall to see if anyone wanted to socialize. Oh, so Cannon's not dead. Incidentally, I came across Say and Cannon on their way in from the foyer in the halls. Hey, Say, Cannon, I was about to go into the dining hall. Did you want to come? We just left the dining hall. Oh, I see. We stood in silence for a half minute. Well, I should go. Say shuffled it off, leaving me and Cannon to fill the empty air. She went right back out to the foyer to who knows where. Huh? Say's personal room is right here. Maybe she wants to spend time in one of the activity rooms? Maybe. The conversation came to a stalemate. I'm just being cautious. Cannon turned and withdrew to her personal room. I let out a deep breath. I didn't know I was holding in. Cannon ties me out. Wait, so we don't know where Lyle is. Is he dead? I made my way to the dining hall, running into Ashley along the way. We greeted each other in a rather unusual manner before sitting down with the other students who had already settled in for a meal. Come on, Ashley, feel free to join us. We were just starting. How have you been faring since this morning? I'm feeling much better, thank you. Pleased to hear it. Missy sat at the head of the table. Arden and Cyrus sat across from each other, with Ashley sitting next to Cyrus. I shuffled in, sitting next to Arden, across from Ashley. Man, what kind of class only has 5 students? One has been disillusioned by a strange game, apparently. Yes, it's a little disheartening to see only half of our group gathered here. Well, it isn't strictly required that we all have dinner together. I saw Say and Cannon in passing. They must have had their share already and were on their way out. Say's a pretty shy girl, so I can understand perhaps she didn't want to be around a large group of people. And Cannon, she's awfully mysterious. Well, there's no use wondering about them. They can do whatever they please, so we shouldn't question their actions. Even if they're suspicious. And for that matter, doesn't the killing game frighten any of you? I voiced the questions that had been ruling my thoughts. I mean, there's only no one capable of that sort of thing, is there? My question was met with silence. Echo, I understand that you might be afraid right now, but it won't do you any good to worry. You're only going to run yourself ragged, thinking about the frightful possibilities. Emmy's is right. It's just some dumb announcement out of nowhere, so what's the threat? Precisely. We shouldn't make ourselves sick with anxiety from something that hasn't invoked any consequences. Plus, if this were a killing game, wouldn't they give us such nice amenities? I mean, the nice amenities have nothing to do with us killing one another. Why not just throw us in a creepy locked building? Because that would set all of us on edge. Wouldn't that pressure us further into killing each other to escape an unknown scary building? I wonder. Regardless, we shouldn't dwell on the specifics of something so mysterious and harmless. Let us enjoy each other's company and the fixings of this mansion to its fullest. Thank you for the encouraging words, Missy. Missy won't get shook up. She's the definition of keeping it cool. With the atmosphere lightening up, we continued our dinner with lively chatter. I was thankful to have such positive energy surrounding me. But we don't know where Lyle is. What if he is dead while we're just here eating a lovely meal? After dinner, we all departed to wrap the evening with our own activities. Ashley and I walked over to the living quarters to rest for the evening. But before we went out respective rooms, Ashley pulled me over to the end of the living quarters hallway. Ash, what's up? Echo, I've been thinking and I don't know how to say this. This killing game, it has me really worried. An ultimate battle royale? Just saying that is ridiculous. It has to be some kind of theme ARG or weird elaborate prank. I was kidding around, but Ashley remained still with a serious demeanor. Well, you're here, aren't you? How else would you explain your high school plaque on your personal room door? Huh? Sure, it's still strange, but that could mean anything. I was probably just mistaken for a different student at my high school. You know what I think it means? It means I was right. Echo being involved with me only results in ultimate levels of trouble. This game has specifically curated for ultimate students managed to gain a collateral student participant simply by association. Me. Ash, what are you saying? I don't want you to worry about me. Yes, I can protect myself, but it's more than that. I remember that night. The night you dropped me off after we had dinner. You couldn't walk me to my house. I did in fact make it to the house in one piece, but when I looked back out on the street, I noticed something strange. I saw smoke. It was coming from the direction you dropped me off, so I assumed the worst. I wanted to run out there and see what had happened, but the only thing I remembered after that was a sharp pain and then black. Right, I must have been a target or something. Someone must have subdued and captured me and at the same time you as well. Whoever did this, it seemed they wanted me to cover all their bases, which meant if you saw anything that night, you had to be taken also. I trembled at the thought. The problem was I didn't see a thing that happened that night. Echo, I know I can protect myself, but I want to keep your distance. So whatever happens to me, doesn't come to harm you as well. But like, me personally thinking, I don't think Ashley is like dangerous because she's our friend. Also, I'm worried about Lyle. We have seen Cannon. She's alive, but I don't know if Lyle is. And Ashley is like blaming herself. Like after the announcer announced the killing game, everyone is just on edge. Like, I get it. Everyone's like freaking out, but like, I'm wondering like, what's gonna happen? Cause I don't want to see anyone dead yet. I'm not ready for that. How could she say that? We're best friends. I can't abandon you at a time like this. I need you to let me alone. It's for your safety. It hurts me to even think about it, but I don't want you to be in danger because of your relation to me as a close friend. I mean, I'm here either way. I couldn't believe what was happening. Ashley's face was painted with remorse. She only wanted to keep me safe, but in return it meant we needed to be apart. Ashley gave me one last hug before retiring to her room for the night. Ashley. I hung my head in despair. Why did this have to happen? I clenched my fist in frustration. Damn it! I pounded the wall, trying to process everything when I heard a gentle voice. I'm so sorry for what just happened. I turned around to find the source of the voice a few paces behind me. Is that Lyle? It was Pandora. Her voice was barely a whisper. Pandora, you had our conversation? Apologize, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I was only nearby because I wanted to talk to you privately. Me? Yes, I was wondering, does this message mean anything to you? Oh. Pandora pulled a small piece of paper out of her apron pocket. The note had two small symbols on it along with some text. If you recognize one of the symbols depicted, then you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note in its extent. Trust no one but yourself. Upon a close inspection, the symbols were similar to the ones the announcements showed. What does this mean? Do you recognize either of them? I can't say that I do. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was confused by the contents of the note, so I was hoping someone could help me. That someone ain't me. In particular, I was wondering what the note meant by "you are safe." Based on what's shown on the note itself, the two symbols could be of interest. It seemed like there could be someone here who might be connected to whoever is controlling the announcements. Basically, there might be a spy. I thought the same, but I wish the implications weren't so. Where did you find that? I was in my apron pocket since I woke. I don't know how it got there. I don't recall putting anything like this in my pockets. She tucked the note away back in her apron pocket. However, that wasn't really what I wanted to talk to you about. Huh? I wanted to say I feel like you're a very special person. I can't explain it, but I feel a strong aura about you. Oh, thank you? She smiled and went on. Echo, you might think being an ultimate student is somewhat of extravagant existence, but you forget there's beauty in the ordinary as well. Even if we do have ultimate talents, we're still regular people just like you. Waking up with bedheads, sometimes showing up late to our appointments. We're just a little more preoccupied with one particular thing than most others. Thank you, Pandora. Pandora managed to quell a bit of the worry in my heart. But it's a pity what happened between you and Ashley. I don't know what to think anymore. One moment Missy is telling me not to believe a word the announcement says, and another moment Ash is cutting ties with me in a firm belief of the dangers of the game. What am I supposed to do? I felt my phone begin to choke. Oh, trust this little Echo. I don't think it's my place to say, however. This is a bump in the road. Ashley will always be our friend, no matter what. And it may be difficult to determine what's in store for us ahead. So we must keep out on our faith and leave one moment at a time. The lights started to dim as Pandora smiled at me one last time. It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Oh dear, looks like nighttime has come. Well then, bonne nuit, Echo. I'm guessing that means good night. And please don't tell anyone about this note. I don't want to cause any unnecessary trouble. I feel like this note is the key to the many mysteries of this place. I noted. The note was odd, but I couldn't find it in me to outright doubt Pandora. Good night to you too, Pandora. We both returned to our personal rooms to pass over the night. I am scared for tomorrow. Returned to our room, I made myself comfortable and slipped into bed. I stared blankly at the dim ceiling, letting my mind wander aimlessly through the news I learned today. But nothing really stuck. Words and conversation and thoughts flew by as I let my heavy eyes close. The one that had pervaded the others was what would be waiting for us tomorrow. Death! Death! That is what. Before I knew it, I had fallen into a deep sleep. That's a pretty moon. I opened my eyes to the now familiar colors of the room. I looked at the clock on my bedside table. 7:28. I turned off the alarm before it rang and steadily got out of bed. Only 2 days had passed, yet I found myself beginning to acclimate to the sleep schedule. I splashed my face with cold water, the icy sting charging my nerves for a sharp awakening. I wonder if anyone is in the dining hall for breakfast yet. Please don't tell me someone died. Not yet. I made my way to the dining hall, stopping in the foyer for a moment to gaze at the mysterious, electrifying doorway. In the dining hall were a few early risers, just starting breakfast. Good morning. Good morning, Echo. Please help yourself. I made some muffins with citrus today. Hopefully it'll energize you. Nothing like a hearty, satisfying breakfast to start the day. Oh, rolling with the same crew last night. Except I guess Ashley was switched in from Pandora. My heart hurt when I mentioned Ashley. Pandora must have noticed and sat close to me. Here I made lemon squares just for you. Ashley told me in passing you like lemon. She did? So Ashley was still looking out for me. Thanks, Pandora. Can you tell her thank you for me as well? Of course. We'll continue our leisurely breakfast as well. We all shook off the night's slumber. No one else came in during the length of our stay in the dining hall, however. It is now 9 a.m. Please assemble in the second floor atrium for a special announcement. After the announcement ended, I mechanically started to get up from my seat. One out loudly kicked his feet up on the table. No way! Aunt leaned back in his chair and pouted. We're not gonna listen to your creepy announcements, you hear? He waggled his finger aimlessly at the ceiling. I wonder what happened as we refused to assemble. Do we want to test this passive protest? Why not? I'm curious as well. Hey, isn't this dangerous? I agree, it might be risky. The only risk so far has been from when Echo actively tried to escape. The past 48 hours have been nothing but casual to us. However, after a moment of silence, the painting above the fireplace switched to the announcement emblem. It was the Killing Game announcer. So, welcome to day 3! So it plays regardless. I sat down and allowed the announcement to disrupt our morning. Are you all comfortable? Having a nice breakfast? Having a fun sleeping in? That's great to hear! Today we'll be reviewing some general rules relative to our lovely killing game. They are as follows. Students will enjoy an adult lifestyle with the pathogen rules for a duration of 7 days. Activity amenities are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Breaking major assets, kitchen, refrigerator, theater lights, etc. is strictly prohibited. At the end of the 7 days, whoever survives is awarded the ultimate prize. To expedite the killing process towards the ultimate prize, one must kill a fellow student without getting caught. And to get the ball rolling each morning, a special amusing will be provided to exercise your mind. Today's false motive question is, are your talents a true representation of who you are? Who are you beyond your talent? Stew upon these brain-teasing inquiries as you all carry on with your communal lives. And whoever actually went to the atrium gets an additional special gift. Haha, yeah, I know. No one wants to go to the second floor just to hear an announcement. That's what speakers are for, after all. So whoever follows the rules got a little something, if you know what I mean. Finally, if there are no developments by day's end, there will be a serious repercussions. You all will suffer the consequences and be executed as a group for failing to participate in the game. Oh my god, so technically what they are saying is, we have to kill someone. If we don't, we all die. Check out your bracelets, they all contain a lethal dose of Complex 53. Just enough to knock you into the next life in less than a minute. Huh? I flip my bracelet and see a vial of clear liquid attached to a control chip. God! So, if we don't kill someone, lethal injection. Our bracelets had these things the whole time? But that's just the last resort. I really don't want to use it unless you all are really boring me. So come on, you all, make it happen. The bizarre announcement cut out and the painting returned to its original form. So the thing they're giving us to motivate murder is a question? The threat of a clear liquid that is proclaimed to be a deadly toxic gas. As far as I know, such a chemical by the name Complex 53 doesn't exist. It might just be water, like a prop or something, and to release it only at the end of the day if nothing happens? I don't know, it seems kinda weak. I frowned my brow. I recall what Missy said yesterday, that the risk wasn't high enough to do something drastic. A question was hardly raising the bar, not to mention a small vial of liquid. As for the provide motive as it were, I don't understand. Are we meant to discuss the question with each other? Perhaps, unless anyone has any skeletons in the closet, I believe it's only fair to share our thoughts on the subject. I sheepishly ducked my head, but Missy caught me. Echo, why don't you lead us in our discussion? But Missy, I don't have an ultimate skill. What am I supposed to say? You are the most qualified, since you sit in a rather grey area where it comes to ultimate talents. Which is to say you're not included, but I think you have the most neutral viewpoint that is perfect for judgment. Oh, so they know I don't have a ultimate. Sure, if you say so. If you don't want to, it's not necessary. It's alright, I have to admit, I'm pretty curious now. Well, let's see what everyone has to say. Okay, I think we'll leave it here. We'll just save game on the third slot. So currently, what we learned, let's recap on this whole thing. What we learned is everything was fine until day 2, when this announcer was like, we're gonna play a killing game, we gotta kill people, and apparently there's no way of getting out of it. Technically we could refuse to kill, but it would result in a group execution if nothing happens by the end of the day. Then they said that the vial in our bracelet is a thing called Complex 53, which apparently they said is a toxic liquid that will be injected into us if we fail to do anything, in the end killing us. But apparently Missy, who was really, I guess, experienced in toxic gases, said that Complex 53 does not exist and it's not a real thing. And then also, we don't know where Lyle is. So Lyle could pretty much be dead. We don't know that. And apparently we just don't know what's going on. So yeah, hopefully Lyle isn't dead, because he seems to be really good at puzzle solving. So we might need him. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm actually excited to see what happens next, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye and stay creepy.